So Eva Green and Mark Strong are in a new movie called Nocebo. Yes, like placebo, but nocebo. So if you're wondering what the difference is, a placebo is something that helps you, but only in a psychosomatic way. And a nocebo is something that hurts you, but only in a psychosomatic way. So if you take a pill and you think it's working, and it doesn't even do anything, but it has results, that's a placebo, right? Because you're getting a positive effect from something that supposedly is just like sugar, or it doesn't have to be that the medication isn't actually substantive, but on a nocebo side of the coin, you do have the event where some people think that the medicine is going to hurt them, so they convince themselves it's bad, and their body follows suit, and they actually start to get sick because they think what they're taking is poison. And your mind has a powerful effect over the body, and if you're like telling your body what I'm putting in me is poison, or what I'm putting in me isn't helping,
and you believe it.
Yeah, if you believe it enough, it can actually affect how the medicine is working, or not. If sugar pills or whatever, it can actually hurt you, and you can have a negative effect. So we had to look this up because I'd never heard of a nocebo.
Neither had I.
But that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So anyways, Eva Green's character is this well-to-do workwoman who designs kids' clothing. And after a shocking phone call, of which we are waiting with bated breath throughout the entirety of the film to find out what the hell it was, she has a mental breakdown, and if her body is physically affected by this. And she then has a woman who comes into her life who shows up at the door and claims that she told her that she is there to help her and that she called her. She believes her because she has been having these memory lapse issues as of late and is pretty easily suggestible. So she lets this woman into her house, and this woman then uses some form of voodoo witchcraft kind of shit to try to heal this girl's ailments, much to the chagrin of her husband. She works her talons very deep into the mom, and the dad is trying to kind of like fight back against it. So it's that stranger in your house who is poisoning your mind, or is she not? Is she helping you? And you kind of go throughout the film wondering, is she there for good? Is she there for bad? You kind of know what's
you
going.
Sort of get
I mean,
you get a little taste,
pretty much for sure what's going to happen here. So overall, okay, we had a lot of theory. I was very obsessed with like trying to figure out what the phone call was. Like I was Perry Mason. Man, I was every 5 seconds I was just like,
what if it's this?
What if it's this? I had a lot of really good stories written
yeah.
that would have all worked. I was like, oh, that would be really cool. And then maybe like, I don't know, 30 minutes left, I was like, oh shit, it's this. And then that ended up being what it was. Overall, yeah, I liked it. I liked what the story had to say.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the ending had a really good payoff. I was really into that. I thought the performances were all good. I thought that the woman who was helping was equal parts like creepy, and also kind of like believable as that like housemaid woman who like wants to help.
She had like this weird air of like compassion to her at times, but also like the creepy factor.
Yeah.
It was a really interesting combination.
Yeah.
And I think her performance, I think she did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
Honestly, the performances from both her and Eva Green were fantastic.
Yeah.
I liked it too. I thought I really enjoyed the message of the movie as well. I think it had something really great to say, and there was some really creepy imagery that I was a big fan of. Very like kind of symbolic things that would pop up, and I really liked how all of it looked.
It wasn't without purpose.
Right. Which is, for horror, it's like, come on. you have to. Like, attach the symbolism because your brain already wants to make those connections, and it just kind of adds more layers to the story when you have it.
I'll add that I think your scares don't always have to have meaning, but your dream sequences do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because otherwise they serve zero purpose other than to add an additional jump scare as a take back moment. Like something happens and then the cat's out of the bag, but then the cat's immediately thrown back in the bag, right? Once the cat's out of the bag, you can't get the cat back in the bag unless it's a fucking dream sequence, and then you can immediately throw it because when the ghost is seen or when the big moment happens, then you have to accept that it's happening, and everything has to then from there on speed up, and we get into that like third act kind of mentality of like once that cat's out of the bag, and dream sequences are able to kind of let the cat out and then bring it back and then let it out and bring it. It's like that fake out death sequence that the friend always, I drowned. And then it's like, oh my God, like, where's it going to go from here? And then they're like, just kidding. And it's like, oh, fuck you. And then we're back to square one. So when dream sequences happen, they have to serve a purpose other than some lazy jump scare or whatnot. So overall, I dug it. It is available for rent right now for like $7, so I don't know if that's something that you guys are wanting to pull the trigger on, but I think at the beginning of this it did say it was a Shudder film. So it will be coming to Shudder, obviously not this year because this year is over tomorrow. I guess a day and a half. But yeah, when it drops on Shudder, I mean, if you don't want to drop $7 on it, but if you're like a big Evergreen fan, definitely check it out. I think that I think she's quite good in this. I mean, she always is, so that's to be expected. Mark Strong is, he's just kind of the husband who's questioning things. Like, his role's fine. Like, he's not expected to do much. He's just kind of expected to be there to, like, rough things up a little bit.
He's the husband character that's like, I'm doubtful.
Sure, exactly. I mean, that's just kind of his purpose in the film. And then you've got the daughter, and the daughter is very cute and very believable, and is never like that annoying kid character where you're like, oh, shut the hell up, because that kid can exist in films here and there. But with this one, that doesn't happen at all.
No.
But I do think the payoff is quite good. I think that the visuals are nice, and even though there are dream sequences, they are relevant and
very relevant.
Do drive forward not only the plot but as well as the atmosphere. So
totally
good film. Nothing amazing.
No, but
nothing
solid.
making my top year-end list by any means.
No.
but a totally good watch.
Yeah.
I was glad we checked it out.
Yeah, me too.
So when it drops on Shudder, or if you want to drop to $7 now, it's up to you. Let us know when you watch it. Adios. Bye.